Yeah. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
Yes. So
So,
yeah, do.
hello, everybody. Welcome to another Next Up podcast. As always, I'm excited to be back with you. You're going to get something great out of this tonight. We have a power couple with us tonight, and I'm excited to interview them, Dennis and Wanda Pearson. I met them a few weeks ago, and it was a pure joy to do so. Dennis and Wanda, how are you guys doing?
Doing great.
You're doing great.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us on your podcast. I'm so excited. I guess we share each other. You was on my podcast and I'm on your podcast. So
Oh, yeah.
it's exciting to have to be here.
Yes, and have like minds together, you know.
Yes.
I got to admit, I like what I saw when I first met you guys.
Thank
Great.
you.
Thank you.
You guys,
Thank you.
I found out that you guys are, I think, a year ahead of girlfriend and I in marriage.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, we're
That was by 1 year.
1 year.
1 year. Yeah, we're 43 years and August 29th would be 44 years.
Wow, you got us
Mhm.
a little over a year, uh,
Wow.
Mhm.
about
Yeah.
3 months. So, but we celebrate the fact that you guys have been together for such a long time. And so, what a pleasure. Well, I'm excited. We're going to get right into the interview. I want you to tell us, uh, you know, I guess Dennis, or either one want to go first. Tell us about your background. We're always interested in knowing where a person has evolved from. So if we
All
could,
right, sure. We're gonna go ahead and let ladies go first, and we'll keep
okay, but 3 to 5
the
minutes, tell us about your background so we can get to know where you
Thank you. I was wondering if he was going to remember ladies go first, so.
absolutely.
Yeah, so my background is actually social work. I always wanted to be a social worker. Um, but I did it for a year at Job Corps. And then I said, okay, I'm not making enough money from it. So I started with IBM Corporation. So I worked for IBM for 36 years. I
Wow.
would say I started when I was a baby. And yeah, 36 years. So they actually, I did a lot of different, you know, um, positions where I ended up was doing admin for marketing, working with sales reps, and also IBM Credit LLC. So I was a team leader, education. I went to Rio de Janeiro 3 times and came back and did contract auditing. So, it was like I asked my financial advisor. I said, "Okay, I'm tired of this. I need to be gone." And I was young, but I had that old pension plan. Have an
Gotcha.
old pension plan. So I retired in December 31st, 2017. That was the happiest time of my life when I retired. I was still young,
Uh-huh.
but we had our business, Legal Shield. But I'm gonna let Dennis go ahead and tell you about what he did, how he started.
All right.
Sure.
So basically, my background, I started out in sales and marketing. I had sold for the Xerox Corporation. I had worked at IBM as well, and decided to open up a small print shop and became a small business owner. And basically, we had a great run with that, and I was able to have that flexibility to be there when the girls were born, to take them to school and do different things with them because I was a small business owner, and that was very rewarding at that time.
Gotcha. So how many children y'all have?
Two girls
Two
Two
girls?
girls and six
and six
grandchildren,
grandkids.
two married daughters and six grandchildren.
Oh, wow. Congratulations. Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Got a unique scenario. How many girls? Two daughters?
Four girls. The girls run in our family for some reason. So both of our daughters had two girls, and then our oldest daughter had two girls and two boys. So yeah, we have four girls,
Yeah,
which are the youngest ones, and then the two boys are the older
the older
ones.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what was family life like way back? What was it like being home with dad and mom coming up through high school? What were those years like in you guys' lives?
Yeah, mine was you mean when we were growing up?
Yes.
We were, yeah, mine was kind of confusing, and that's why actually I'll tell you about my book later, but I actually dealt with my father. When my mother had me, first time she had sex, she was only 17 years old, last year high school, and my father was only 16. But I would switch back and forth between my mother and my grandmother and my father. And then I grew up with an abusive stepfather. So thank God my father and my stepmother and my grandmother gave me that the the will to do better than, what I grew up on. So I'm thankful to God that I was able to be somebody that I wanted to be able to share with other people who actually went through the same situations that I did, to be able to. And I always said, Dr. Ellison, I am so in tune with women that their confidence, when their confidence, and my mother lost her confidence and self-esteem. I wanted to help women that, with the self-esteem and confidence and affirmation. So I actually do middle school with middle school girls that I have affirmations with them. So they call me the affirmation queen. So
Oh,
All right.
I've already got another platform for you already.
Yeah.
thank you.
Organization that focuses on what you just mentioned. And we're planning something, believe it or not, in Clayton County.
Oh,
So,
okay.
so we'll have to talk about that. So Dennis,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
yeah, like I came from a large family. My mother had 9 children. We had 7 boys and 2 girls. And basically, we were very like close knit. We really didn't have a lot in terms of financial, but we had, a lot of love.
yeah,
And the great thing was that the church was within walking distance. So I could really walk across the street and go right up the road and go right to church, to Sunday school. And so I spent a lot of time, in the church. And I think that made a big difference in my upbringing.
wow. You said you had a large family, didn't have a lot of money, but you had the true riches.
Yes.
Yeah, you had the true sustainable riches. We were like that as well. And when you got relationship richness, oh my God, everything else really flows from that.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. And as you mentioned that, because Dennis' parents were married for how many years?
Of 55. Yeah.
55 years. And our parents were my mother and my stepmother and my father, which I call my son, they were married for 52 years before my stepmother died.
Wow.
So we grew up with longevity, as far as our parents, and also our daughters are married now. Ooh,
14
14, the
years.
oldest one 14, 15 years, and our youngest one's married 11 years.
Uh,
So the connection that we had, and they saw what we did, especially with the way I grew up. I'm so happy that God was always in our life,
oh,
as far
absolutely.
as to help us to survive any kind of situation, that happens. So it
You know,
makes
you do know that you all are a rarity, both raised up in a family to where they've been married for so long.
Well, yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That can't be said in every situation nowadays. 50
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
some years on both sides, so you guys know what it looks like. You have the DNA of, in other words, of longevity,
Hmm.
or when it comes down to knowing what it looks like and just being in the environment of someone who has been married for so long. Speak to that, how important that is from you guys' view, and in light of what you see happening today.
Well, you want to start or you want?
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll go.
yeah. It is. It is, because you know what? A lot of people don't have patience with each other. And it's all about God. I mean, look, we get into a situation where, there's trials and tribulation. Like when IBM moved us here to Georgia. Dennis is from New Jersey. I'm
Mhm.
from Chicago, but I was in New Jersey for 29 years. And, it was difficult moving here because his family was all in New Jersey. But my father always traveled a lot by him being into sales. So I got to know the diversity out there as far as how to deal with different situations. But it was, it's just really about making sure that we're on the same page as far as communication. And then we're going to talk about the 4 C's. And that's one of the questions that we have 4 C's. And God always in our life, because like I said, it's not always simple as it seems,
No,
but we know that God is helping us, because I mean I went through trials. Maybe as soon as I moved here, my mother, my birth mother, died the day after I moved here. That
mm,
was really hard, as far as that. And trying to have our daughter, who's a junior in high school, moving here, not happy with us because her whole life was in New
New
Jersey.
Jersey, yeah.
And I said, well, you have no choice, because I have 25 years of IBM. Dennis gave up his business. He had 25 years of his business, but we had to go with what was what do you call it? Solid, which means we had my benefits, we had the salary, and Dennis had to actually, because I mean printing was actually going obsolete. So he knew that he had wanted to start another job profession, right? That's when he
Okay.
started FedEx. So yeah, so it's a lot of different variables in there that you work with, but you always got to have God in there to actually help you to be able to have that patience. Like they said, love is patient, love is kind. So having all those variables to be able to deal with the different situations that you have is really important. And communication is the key to, I say communication is the key to success, but communication is very important to be able to have with one another. And I
Yeah,
and I
absolutely.
talk, so I'm a talker.
As we can see, right? No, it was challenging, but basically, like Wanda said, having God in the center of your life definitely makes things work out, because as long as we realize that he's still in control and being able to follow his lead, uh, you'll be blessed along the way, and you'll be able to adjust to the different any situation that comes up, without a doubt.
Well, and I'm glad that you all are sharing that piece of wisdom because it's got to be heard more and more.
Oh,
Because
absolutely.
it's apparent that God is not in the midst of a lot of relationships.
Right.
They don't have the God word. They don't have the church, terminology, And so it's just important to hear someone like you all who've been married going on 43 years.
44
44.
years, 44 years. Mhm.
Yeah, to hear the God factor and the patience and the communication. So I'm so glad that you all put that out there. How did you guys meet? Tell us.
Well, let's say, you want to go ahead? How do we meet?
Yeah, I transferred from Ohio State to New Jersey. My father said, "Why not buy your car if you move home?" And I said, "What the heck did I do that for?" Because all of my freedom that I lost in college, I had to be at home with him. But he bought me a car. But we met in college. I was actually coming from my girlfriend from the dorm, and he was playing basketball, and he asked the guy that I was actually dating who I was. Well, that was not too good. So so I said he was always following me. Why are you following me? But God just kept putting us together. Even when we went to parties, I'd be driving and he's behind me in the car, and I'm like, why is this guy following me? But he knew that he wanted us to be together.
Oh, absolutely.
And yeah, he told me that I'm going to be his wife. I said, no, I'm not. So, and look at this, 43, almost 44 years later. So,
Yeah, it was a real coincidence in terms of one that would always, from her point of view, say I was following her, but it was, we were just meeting up at the same place. It was a coincidence.
Mhm.
And so basically, the gentleman that was, I guess she was dating at the time, was one of the security guards. And basically, I knew him and his brother. And I just, I asked a question, a simple question, just being honest. And so he told me who she was. And I guess the rest is history.
No, he was giving away his wife, his girlfriend to be your wife.
Yeah.
yeah, and he did say that. What did he tell you though?
Yeah, I ran into him in New York. I was across the street in New York, and so we talked to him, and he said, "Well, I always knew you guys were going to get married." Yeah, he told me that. Yeah, so
Wow.
yeah, so it's a real blessing that things worked out the way it did, and being able to, like I said, coincidence to run into one another over a number of different times.
Sure. Now you played basketball. What position did you play?
Football.
Oh,
Well,
Yeah.
football.
he played everything. He
Well,
played
yeah.
basketball, football, but yeah, but his
But on the varsity team was football. Yeah, so I was a defensive end, and I also so I ran fullback
Oh, wow.
at Keene University in Union, New Jersey.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, those are the two positions I played, believe it or not,
Oh, really? Oh, wow. That's interesting. Yeah.
and defensive end.
Yeah.
You
yeah.
know, and I love the contact sport, but I played
Mhm.
running back. on offense.
on the offense. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Well, you know, it's funny, Dr. Calvin. I actually, when I transferred from Ohio State, I played football, but it was flag football. So I got the chance to play in the Ohio State Stadium.
Oh, the
It
stadium.
was only half the stadium, but it's supposed to be flag football. But these girls are playing tackle. I said, what this
Oh,
not-" And I was a center, so I was actually active in sports as well. But you know, but it's
wow. Now I got to ask you all this question since we're on it. Were you pleased with the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I was. I mean, because my nephew years ago, LJ Smith was a tight end for the Eagles, so I've kind of been fond of them. And then being living in, born and raised in New Jersey, you
Oh,
know, close right there with the Giants. You know, we're right there. So,
mm,
so yes, I was pleased in terms of the Eagles coming out on top and
yeah,
making it happen, and even with the running back that played with the Giants, was able to get transferred to the Eagles. That made a world of a difference as far as getting them to the Super Bowl and making things happen.
gotcha,
mhm.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, I think it was just miserable for the Chiefs. That was just
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, and you know, I don't like to look at football when it's like 0 to 20 or what was it?
with
What
the
was it?
40 to 0.
Yeah, 40 to
Yeah,
0. I'm like, this is not even a game.
yeah,
But
I think they were at least done better than that, but
yeah.
yeah,
got
yeah.
all banana peeling from the get-go and things went backwards for those guys.
Oh, absolutely,
Hmm.
yeah,
Hmm. Well, I'm
Absolutely.
glad, you know, I always like the underdogs anyway. I mean, they've been winning. They already got their chance twice, you know,
yeah,
so
yeah.
give it to somebody else to win. So I'm happy that the Eagles end up winning that game because, you know, like I said, we live in New Jersey. We go to Philadelphia all the time.
Oh
So,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know, yeah. So we,
For the weekend,
yeah, yeah. But I am from Chicago. So I am a Midwesterner.
yeah.
I have family in Missouri, in St. Louis, Missouri. So, but either way, I'm glad the Eagles won.
Well, I said I was upset.
Oh,
You was upset? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you're
what?
upset.
You wanted the three-peat?
I wanted them to make history, really,
Oh yeah, three-peat. Yeah,
beating so bad. Oh my God. I'm like, it's like you didn't even show up, you know.
Yeah,
right.
It
yeah.
happened.
Well, this is like we're in Atlanta. You know, you never know what the Falcons, you know. So,
Yeah.
Now, you guys are in business. Let's talk about that
okay,
business and how do your business, what do you do in business and how does it benefit customers?
okay. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, yeah. Basically, what we're doing now, we're in a network marketing business. The company's called Legal Shield, and they've been around for 52 years. We've been involved for 26 years. Um, when I had my print shop, I basically gentleman came by and did a presentation, and when I took a look at it, I said, well, basically, this really makes sense, and it
Mhm.
was something that everyone need, and then also it was something that everyone could afford. So
Mhm.
you're given access to the expensive legal system for a very affordable price, as opposed to paying $300 an hour. You're paying $30 a month, and that was something that I wanted to try to get, we wanted to get the word out to let people know about it. And that's basically what we're doing right now. It's like I said, over the 26 years, we're trying to spread the word, and we're doing it. We're trying to do it, at a more rapid pace. With technology, we're able to do some of the things, I guess, because basically when we started 26 years ago, we were doing paper applications. So now with the internet and all that, it's able to expedite things, and we're able to establish clients, on the West Coast as well as East Coast.
You
Just like
are
that.
6 years. That's a long.
Yeah,
Yeah, 20. Yeah, it really, we believe in the service. And I
yeah,
always said, you know, especially us as far as having access to a law firm, not just an attorney. But I always used to say, I'm gonna call my attorney on you. Well, when this guy came and told us about this service, I said, that's a good service to have.
yeah,
So now we have an attorney. You have an attorney to be able to have access to. But I do a lot of networking and on what Dennis was saying. But I actually I tell people about wills, legacy. protecting your legacy. So having your will estate planning done is so important. I mean, we lost a lot of family members in January. So we want to make sure that people have their stuff together, have their information as far as leaving a legacy, but doing what they want to do, with their last rites. So I network a lot. I'm a networking queen. So I network and I tell people about that as far as the will, estate planning, also identity theft. That's another thing that's big out here today. So these
Oh
are
yeah.
these are some of the things that I've been out here doing. So we both doing it full time now. Ever since I retired, I'm doing it full time.
So the business covers identity theft as well?
Oh
As
yeah.
well, yeah. They have that. The 3 years in a row they've received awards uh for identity for the call ID Shield,
Hmm.
and they've been printed up in Forbes magazine as the #1 product against identity theft.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. We did a comparison with LifeLock and the ID Shield on ChatGPT. Go do a comparison, and
yeah,
it'll tell you how much we cover up to $3 million if you lose, any
yeah.
of your
Your
identity.
identity. Yeah.
So we did a comparison because we had a client that wanted to know, and we were surprised as far as what they said about us,
Oh yeah. So
because it's affordable. Yeah, you may get LifeLock, but that's just a what do you call it, a beginning a trial
yeah, it's
period.
a trial for the first year. So
Yeah.
they make it, it's what they call, like when I work with Xerox, they used to call it a lost leader. So we'll advertise at a low price, and then to bring you in to sign up at the real price will come in, like 12 months later.
Hmm.
Whereas Chat GPT spells it right out. It says, well, uh, ID Shield is consistent with their pricing. And so this way it makes it more affordable without a doubt.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It was
Uh,
really interesting as far as how we actually came in compared to that, because a lot of people say, "Oh, I have life like Norton Dyers
Yeah,
or
because they
whatever."
advertise, whereas the philosophy for Legal Shield has been to rather than spend that money for advertisement, we'll pass that on, the savings on to the end user, the customer. They take so much value in terms of making things better for the customer, and
Mhm.
then the independent associates that work at it makes a world of a difference.
Gotcha.
The only thing I have to say, Dr. Calvin, Dr. Ellison, sorry, is that they are not including what we now do, the digital security, which we do everything. That
Yeah,
includes up to $3 million, but we do digital security as well. So we
Okay.
got to tell ChatGPT to update their records of what
yeah.
what we actually do.
Now, I know in 26 years you got a lot of great stories.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Give us one or two of the stories since you've been in Legal Shield.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
go ahead and give the one you did Saturday. It's great.
Saturday, trying
That's
to
a
think.
Super Saturday. Yeah.
Yeah, super sad. Yeah, actually, it's helping small businesses. So I had a client, and she signed up with for the small business because that's really what we want to help small businesses as well as families. But she didn't realize that their membership had expired. So I, talked to her and got it signed back up again. But she wanted help because she's a business with collection letters, and she said she loved Legal Shield because it helped her with collection letters. It helped her with document review, and there's so many other benefits that you get with our services that's affordable. So she was very happy, and we have like 101 reasons why you should use Legal Shield in personal, but also small businesses. So she was very happy with that. But a happy story is that because we've been in 26 years, we actually won two trips. One was to Maui, Hawaii,
Yeah.
2 years ago, and then last year we went a trip to Montego Bay.
To Jamaica. Yeah.
So though that because of us being out here helping people, to get access to the legal systems that is affordable. So that's some of our happy
Yeah, that's some
stories.
of the benefits of being part of the Legal Shield family. And I told Juan, I said, well, when we were in Hawaii, I said, this is one of our best vacations ever, because it's all expense paid. I can
Mhm.
actually, was able to leave my plastic at home and just go and have a great time.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. And it's all over the country?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
all 50 states.
All 50 states and also 5 provinces in Canada
Yeah, Canada as
as
well.
well that we have the services available.
Wow. Wow, that is awesome. Uh,
Yeah.
outside any other countries?
No, well, I'm sorry, because I have a virtual assistant in South Africa, and we're trying to get in South Africa, but it's according to the government.
Mhm.
So we're working on that. We're working on getting them into different parts of the country. I know they expanded, especially when we got all the 50 states. So they're trying to expand it and get into all other countries
Yes.
to help people because they know by us being affordable, and lawyers are expensive. So the government is very, even like Massachusetts is very, you have to have a license in Massachusetts, and they don't want to let us in. So we have to actually make sure we we
Yeah, because
we
basically with the insurance companies,
yeah.
it's basically so they have it, they're have it on a lockdown in terms of with the competition. So here's competition coming in, making things affordable. So you have most of your insurance headquarters are in Massachusetts and in New Jersey. So those are the two other So now we have to get a license for those two states to be able
Yeah.
to market the memberships.
Yeah.
You guys have a license for that?
Well,
Not
not
anymore.
yet. But
Yeah.
we do have a license for South Carolina, requires a license, and
Virginia.
Virginia. They
Yeah.
require a license. But going back, it was, we had there was a number of different states that you required a license. So basically, uh, what Legal Shield have done over the years has been able to go in and, like all the other companies, or like the pharmaceutical company, they lobby and they got it basically dismissed where it's not required to have a license.
Hmm.
Got
Yeah.
And
you.
So
that's been like a great thing. Yeah.
yeah, they're knocking those states down
Yeah.
to allow us to be able to sell in those states and stuff.
Yeah. So
So yeah, but the New Jersey now we first because we started in New
New
Jersey.
Jersey, yeah. Yeah, it wasn't a
So
licensed state in the beginning, but
yeah.
then they decided to say, well, we're going to require a license. So it's additional revenue for the states,
Got
the government. So,
They want to
so
make their money too.
they want a piece of the action. Yeah. So that's basically what that is. Yeah.
you. Now, if you're getting one last question before we move on, if you
Mhm.
started in South Africa, what would be your ideal city?
I don't know. Wherever my virtual assistant is, because she
She's
she said she can get a lot of people work for me. It's funny because I used to do networking with an international networking group that I was part of. And I had meetings with some of the people there in South Africa and also a lawyer. And she said, Wanda, whenever you all get this here, please call me. Let me know. And she's a lawyer because they've been trying to get that into their country for a long time. But the government is all according to the government.
It's
But yeah, but
politics. Yeah.
yeah, politics. But she definitely wanted to get it because I told her our services what we offer.
Mhm.
And she wanted to be one of the attorneys to be part of Legal Shield. So that's how important it is, and that's how they see the value of having the legal system that people can afford
Yeah.
instead of, trying to charge them $300 an hour. Whereas all of our benefits, like advice consultation, there's a phone calls made, all of that is included in our
Oh
membership.
yeah, the low monthly
Yeah,
fee.
low monthly pay. And she was just flabbergasted, was like, wow, that's included with all that. I said, yeah. So she said, whenever we wanted to do this, I'm not sure what country, part, state, or where that was in South Africa, but I know I put it with our corporate and said, when are we going to go to South Africa? And they're working on it, but we don't know when it's going to be.
Sure. Have you all been to South Africa?
No,
No, not
no,
yet.
no, we haven't been to South Africa.
South Africa is one of my favorite in Africa.
Oh,
Is
all
it?
right.
What state?
I said South Africa is one of my favorite countries in Africa.
In
Oh,
Africa.
okay,
Okay.
okay, okay.
Se-
Yeah,
Several times, my wife and I.
okay.
Oh, beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't been. We haven't been yet. I know my niece has been there, but one of actually, I one of the top 20 authors.
Mhm.
She actually was in South Africa. She's trying to get us to go in 2026 to
Oh,
South Africa.
yeah. You'll think somebody blindfolded you and put you in Atlanta,
Oh, okay.
Really?
Detroit, or even some respects California, particularly if you go to Johannesburg, Durban, or Cape Town. Yeah, you're like,
Yeah.
Mhm.
this is just like the cities in the United States.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. I
wow.
know Cape Town. I heard a lot. There with you.
Cape Town. I just interviewed someone, as a matter of fact, I think last week, who's from Cape Town. She deals with pocketbooks.
Yeah.
Okay.
in banking, in the banking industry. So what
Okay.
um what would you guys would say you want to lead before we end up talking about your books, Wanda?
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell us about what your legacy would be like. What do you want your legacy to be like?
Well, um, the books that I wrote, Dr. Ellison, I said I would never write a book. Never write a book. Why would people want to hear my story? But my legacy is actually to leave behind what we're doing, our business, which we have. Both our daughters are actually associates in our business. So they're not doing anything, but we know if anything happens, we will leave that to them. But also our grandchildren. We want to make sure that they know because I've had a couple of book launches and our grandchildren was here and they would just say, they said, Nana, you're famous. I said, no, not yet. I'm not Oprah Winfrey yet, So, but that's why I started the podcast as well, because I do a podcast. But yeah, but we want to leave behind something that people can say, I can do that too. They don't have to say, I can never do that. Like I said, I would never do. But having the courage to be able to move forward and never let anybody put you down, but always make sure you keep your God in your life to be able to succeed in whatever you want to do. You can do anything you want to do. And that's why affirmations is so important to me. And I teach the girls in the middle schools. They have to tell me, I to give them affirmation. They have to read it to me, and I do it with my grandson. That is something that the legacy of leaving a person to say positive things about themselves that they can do, to be able to do anything in their life to accomplish. So, Dennis,
Yeah, I just want to add that we want to leave legacy uh, for more than one generation, generations and beyond, to be able to continue what we've started and to realize that basically, God is still in control in that if you get on the right path and it'll take you places that you would never dream would be able to get there on your own.
Wow, wow.
Yeah.
What's that one piece of advice, Dennis, that you would give to men in this generation?
Well, in terms of with the men, it's basically is to step up and to be strong and to at least listen to your wife.
Gotcha.
I'm glad you're recording this, Dr.
Because they have good, they have your best interest at heart, and you got to come to the point where you realize that, and basically, and that's one reason why God brought you together to be as one, and
Mhm.
say, okay, this is what we're going to do, and let's do it together.
Yeah. And Dennis, why don't you share the four C's with
Yeah. So we got
and
basically
this is good for men as well. The four C's.
Great.
all right. So we got the four C's, and basically with communications, commitment. Let's see, where are my four C's?
Compromise.
Compromise, yeah, and consideration.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So say that again, Dennis.
All right, so in this order, okay, we got communications, consideration, compromise, and commitment.
Awesome.
That's how we stayed together for 43 years.
All right. Wow. I love it. I love you where you got
Yeah,
C's.
yeah.
Wow. Awesome. Well, what's one piece of advice then that you would give to women, Wanda?
I would say don't let anybody put you down. Stay strong. You can do anything that you set your mind to. And to stay committed to your passion. Passion has always been important to me. What is your passion? What do you want to do? And that's why I created my own business, WD Pearson Associates, as far as people who want to start their business, they have a passion in them. Let's get it started. Let's do what you always wanted to do. And just stay with it and make sure that you are committed, and all of these words of commitment, committed to your goals in accomplishing whatever that God have asked you or directed you to do. You just got to keep on with it. I mean, you may feel down, you may feel like, oh, I can't do it, I can't do it, but pick yourself up and make sure that you can do anything that you have that passion to do and a commitment to anything that's actually that's been in your heart.
Mhm.
So ask God to direct you to those paths. I mean, I had to ask God, okay, should I do this? Just like when I did the podcast, when I did, I created my books. I had to ask him, is this the right thing to do? And he'll direct you. If you believe in knowing that that's the right direction that you should go in, then he will actually direct you into the right path that you should go and be successful in it.
Awesome. Because if there's anybody who wants us to be successful, it is the one who created us.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
After all, it makes him look good. His brand, his name is at stake. So true. Tell us a little bit about your books in closing, Wanda. You've written how many books?
Three books, two collaboration books. I'm gonna tell you how I started. Remember, I said I would never write a book. Well, all of a sudden, one of my clients called me. She said, "Wanda, God told me to call you." I said, "Okay, well, what did he say?" I mean, I'm not going to disobey God. Well, she wanted me to be part of the collaboration. The book is called Audacity to Shine. I love the title because we all have the audacity to shine. So I started my chapter in that, and it's just been forward as far as me writing my book. Okay, then I had another lady from California that asked me to be part of her book, and that actually is Impact of One Voice. And I actually have my one of my girlfriends. She actually did this frame for me behind me, um, put it in the box thing. But that is actually number one on Amazon. But it is a collaboration book. But then I said they wanted to write another part two. I said, no, no, no. I'm going to write my own book. And I wrote my own book, which is God's Grace Through the Fire from Struggle to Triumph. And this is where I tell my full story because so many people kept saying, Wanda, do your own book. Do your own. And so I self-published my book, which I'm very proud of, but it's in God's Grace Through the Fire from Struggle to Triumph. And I would love for people to get a copy of it because in that book, I actually put a journal after each chapter. I wanted people to go through the journey that I've been through and write it down. But my biggest thing at the end, and I'm actually, God has been putting this into me for another book, forgiveness. So in the back of the book, it's about forgiveness. I did two chapters on forgiveness. I mean, it's like you hold on to so much and you don't forgive. And you think you forgave, but you don't forgive. Like with my stepfather, I thought I forgave him, but all of a sudden we went to church and he said, okay, who do you want to forgive? And then all of a sudden God just put him right in front of my mind. This man had been dead for 20 some years. God, why? So that's when I knew I had to write more on learning how to release. Because when you don't forgive, it holds a negative impact in your body. You don't get your blessing. So that is something that I actually am going to write a book. It's actually another book. I don't know if I told you this, but I had to ask God. I don't know when it's going to come out, but yeah, but no, those are my three books. But my book, in fact, God's Grace Through the Fire from Struggle to Triumph. We have a very talented family. We have a lot of entrepreneurs. So our youngest daughter created the book cover for me for God's Grace Through the Fire from Struggle to Triumph. And my son-in-law, her husband, actually did the formatting for me. And I had an editor that edited my book. So it was a family affair. And then
Wow.
we have my oldest daughter who actually does all of my promotional items for our business. So, we have an entrepreneurial family, starting with Dennis, because he's the one that was that
So,
created the entrepreneurship in there. But
Yeah.
yeah, but no, it's a blessing.
so I said it's truly a family affair.
Oh,
Yes, it is.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yeah.
Wow.
Can I tell you one thing in my book on my Impact of One Voice book, and I actually got my own book cover, but it is a collaboration book. But that was one of my chapters says, never say never, God has a plan for you. So that's what I want to tell people. I never can do this. I never can do that because God has a plan for you.
Mhm.
So when that title came to my mind, and that's what I wrote in this book, Impact of One Voice.
Never say never.
Yeah, because God has a plan for you. So
Wow.
I was interviewed by the author, the one who was the team author of the book, and she interviewed me about that chapter of how I was able to survive and get through, situations that I was in.
Mhm. Wow. Amazing. Amazing. Well, tell people how they can get in contact with you guys and get a copy of the book as well.
Okay. Okay. So you can get in contact with us. While our legal shield business is actually Dennis Pearson, DennisPearson dot Legal Shield Associate, no S on the end. LegalShieldAssociate.com.
Okay.
That's our website. To get in touch with us is you can send to my email because I'll probably get it before Dennis does.
Yeah.
It's Wanda Pearson, WandaPearson at att.net. And my book, actually look on my website, is WD Pearson Associates, WDPearsonAssociates.com. And you will learn a lot about Wanda, my books, my podcast, and that's how you can actually get on my podcast as well. And you can get an autographed copy of our books, of my book.
Yeah.
Any final word from either one of you all that you want to give to the listening audience?
Yeah, go ahead. Then you give it a final word. I know I've been talking
Yeah,
a lot.
basically, we want to say that, it's all about the belief, your belief in God, and that where all your strength and your help comes from. And so if you have that belief, there's nothing that would stop you. You can make things happen just by having that belief.
Yep. I'm sorry. Can I give our phone numbers? Because I want to make sure they know. My phone number is 678-761-5781. And Dennis' phone number is 770-286-8779.
Okay, awesome. Well, you all have heard, I want to reach out to this dynamic duo, been married for going on 44 years. That is an honor right there. And somehow we're going to have to, I've been talking about it, get photos and just magnify marriages like you all that have been married for so long. We're going to make that thing happen. I'm determined, so we may be asking you all's help so we can.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Family of married folks that's been married for 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, and magnify marriage.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be reaching out to you guys, so maybe you all would take the lead starting off.
That sounds good. It's like it's a social worker, me.
We highlight a married couple every month. We're gonna get going. So thank you all for being a part of the Next Up podcast. It's been a pure delight when I first met you guys, and then having you guys on tonight. It's really like the sun just sets over your relationship. That's what I see.
Well,
thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be part of it.
Friend and I will get together and we'll have lunch or what have you.
Yes.
Together again. We've been married. This year will make number 43 for us.
Okay.
Oh, congratulations.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. We would love to get together with you.
Sure, we'll look forward to it this year in November 19th. Oh, by the way, I tell men the best way you all to remember as men your wife's birthday or your wedding anniversary. There is one best way to remember, and I've shared it for years. And that best way, you want to know what it's like, you all? Here's what it is. Forget it one time. That's all it takes.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Forget it one time and you'll never forget it again.
Forget it again. She's going to make sure of that. So,
absolutely.
So I went ahead and made sure that I'm the one who remembers.
Yes.
And I'll tell
exactly.
I got to tell y'all this funny one. I came in one day from work, and we'll close you all in just a moment. But I came in one day from work and walked in the house and said to my wife, I just came from the supermarket. After I got off work, I was in one aisle for about 2 minutes, another aisle for about 4 minutes. Then I got in the vehicle after I left the food line and I got in my vehicle, and it took me about 3 minutes to get to the house. And she's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm answering all of your questions before you ask them.
You're being proactive, huh?
She was like, what are you? I'm going to ask you questions. So I'm going to give you all the answers before you ask the question. You're like, you're crazy.
Yeah. Well, I would never forget your anniversary because my birthday is November 15th.
Yeah.
Oh.
So.
Well, this is on the 19th, right?
Yeah, the anniversary is on the 19th.
Oh, wow. Okay. Birthday
anniversary. I'm sorry, your anniversary. Yeah, my birthday is November 15th. So when November 15th comes around, oh, it's Wanda's birthday. When your anniversary comes around, November 19th, oh yeah, it's Dr. Ellison and his wife anniversary.
Yeah. This is how you match things up to remember.
Yeah.
Thank you all. It's been such a pleasure, and we look forward to also seeing you back on Men Magnifying Manhood. We're there every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock. So,
all right. Thank you so much.
The Next Up podcast. I'm excited even for the next one. This was a great one again. So thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the Next Up podcast. This is Dr. Ellison and my wonderful guest, the Pearsons, telling you we'll see you next time on Next Up. God bless.
God bless.
Bye. God bless. Thank you.
Thank you.